Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Yak Gadget. For all your fine quality kayak fishing needs, go to yakgadget.com. Pelican cases, coolers, and lighting. Go to pelican.com. And the 153 Bait Company. For all your hard and soft plastic bait needs, go to the 153anglers.com. Now let's talk about some awesome products. What's up, guys? It's the final cast. I'm Brad.
What's up, Brad?
What's up?
My name's Josh. It's nice to meet you.
You too, for the millionth time.
Right?
Hey, how you doing? So this is our last episode of 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. So we thought,
that's exciting.
Why not? What's that?
So that's exciting.
Yeah, so we're going to get a little break for like 3 weeks, something like that. So nobody will have to hear me and Josh ramble on about nonsense.
It's been a bad couple episodes. We've been struggling to get in contact with some people. Brad hasn't done squat. And then he came up with a great idea to talk to Dustin Hoy from Raccoon Creek Outfitters. And I was like, yeah, dude, let's bring him on. Brad and I have been following Dustin for quite some time on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And we are kind of, I like to say, cousin shops. So Dustin's shop is in Ohio. If I remember correctly, you're near Athens in that area, correct? Or just outside of it?
Yeah, just outside of Athens. Yep.
And then
that's literally just outside, just a kind of Albany area.
Okay, yeah. Like right before, if you were going down 50 before you would get to Athens, you'd probably jump off that little. I used to go to Ohio University way back in the day, so I'm familiar with the area a little bit. And but Dustin's in Ohio. Okay. We're in Ohio. Our shops are very close. We the cool thing about our shops is if they don't have it, they send them our way. If we don't have it, we send them their way. And it's been a good relationship. I briefly talked with you, Dustin, just real brief, I think last year. Was it last year, Brad? Yeah. Before COVID hit, when we did the shows, and Dustin was helping Yak Gadget out and getting them some Bonafides and stuff to rig up. So I remember you putting that the Bomber one out, man, and that thing was sharp.
That turned out awesome, didn't it?
Yeah. It's a cool little kayak. Even cooler in person. The pictures don't do it justice, but yeah. So
I think any of those limited edition boats.
Oh yeah, they're nice. So let's start off the show. Let the listeners know a little bit about you, how Raccoon Creek got started.
So a little bit about my background. I've been paddling for about 22, 23 years. I got into kayak fishing in 99.
Wow.
My first fishing kayak was a little cheap sit-in. Ended up being a whitewater boat. I drilled some holes, mounted some anchor trolleys on it, put some rod holders on it. Kind of before any of this new kind of high-tech stuff came out. And since then, it's just been, just kind of improving as everything else in the market improves. So, Raccoon Creek got started 5 years ago. Yeah, we just finished up our 5th season, which is very cool. What's that?
Sorry, I didn't know you guys were that young. I thought you guys were a little older than that.
Yeah. No, this is our 5th season. Our original goal was to basically do rentals as our main job, and do small gear shop. And basically fell into the gear shop, fell in love with it, and started really trying to make it grow too. So
I
it's been insane, especially last year.
Yeah. I bought a trailer from you last year and went up to your shop for the first time ever. I was impressed. Your shop's really cool. It has a bunch of like different things you can walk through and look at and all these kayak accessories, which Josh, I don't know if you've seen the store or not, but man, I was impressed. It's real nice and neat and clean and cool.
Yeah, we actually did some more renovations this winter already. We added a 13 fishing section, painted a wall, put a big mural of 13 fishing on it. Got a bunch of their gear and the rods and reels and stuff all in. Also looking at bringing on couple new kayak brands, that kind of stuff too. So
yeah,
trying to
I
make
know
it grow.
you're right. That's you guys. You guys have definitely helped grow the kayak fishing side for sure. I mean, it's gotten huge over the last couple years. But yeah, man, I don't. I don't know. It's impressive.
Yeah, we sold in 19. We sold 48 boats, and I thought that would be kind of our top of the line where we're going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
And this year we sold 157 so far.
Wow.
So
I don't know the numbers that we had this year, but that's a pretty good year. 157 boats in 1 year is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, going back a little bit. We were talking about you a little bit. You recently got on the Bonafide team, or Bonafide Factory team. I was wondering if you could go in a little bit of depth about that.
Yeah, I've been on the Bonafide ambassadors team for a couple of years now. Last night, actually, we had the video conference to see who's going to end up on the factory team, which is basically the top 10. It's not the top 10 anglers, but it's the top 10 kind of supporters, I guess. It's the guys and gals that are out there, fishing tournaments. They're doing meet and greets and demo days at shops and retailers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they went to ICAST. A lot of them go to ICAST to just kind of they had to show people, I guess, on the team.
That's pretty cool.
It's definitely very cool. Honored. I mean, definitely very honored to be chosen on this team. So,
right. So for like the factory side, do you guys get to participate in like designing the new boats and stuff like that?
we don't maybe a little bit, but
That's
we
cool.
definitely do get to do more of the prototyping and that kind of stuff too.
That's awesome.
We're kind of having first chance to put our hands on stuff, which is very cool.
Heck yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, you'd want to get those prototype boats in the hands of your factory team so they can test it out and give good feedback. I mean, those factory guys for all those manufacturers, man, they do a great job. I've always been a big fan of yours. I've been a big fan of Matt Ball for Jackson and guys like that go out and you guys represent your brands very, very well. You're not out trashing other brands. You're not, you keep it clean, you keep it simple. I've enjoyed following you guys on your trips down south. That's been really cool to watch.
Yeah, we actually one of the things we do for Raccoon Creek fishing team, we have a small team, and every March we go to Florida. We go down and rent a house and spend a week fishing. And we target different species every year. Yeah. I mean, it's just, we do everything from peacocks. We've done some offshore stuff, went out a couple miles offshore. was last year. Year before last, we had a about 12-foot hammerhead shark come up beside us. So that was pretty cool. Or beside one of our team members. Yeah, it was definitely kind of interesting for a few minutes.
Yeah,
So,
I bet.
I'd have to change my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're a 12-foot boat.
Yeah. And then a fish the same size of your kayak comes up, and all it has to do is just kind of whack its tail at you and just cleanly knock you right into the water and bite your leg off.
Have you heard that story of Jody Queen getting attacked? His kayak got attacked by an alligator or something like that. Either of you guys heard that one?
I've not heard that
What's
one.
he spends a lot of time down south.
Yeah. I don't remember where I heard it, but he had to smack the thing. Like the thing clamped onto the front of his kayak. He had to smack it with a paddle to get it off. I was like, nope. That's crazy.
I remember that one where the guy looks like
on water.
Yeah. You guys remember the video of the guy? I think he's in a Hobie or something like that. And he comes up and he looks like he's grabbing like a stringer or like a string, and he pulls up and that big gator mouth comes up and he just drops it, and you just see and he's just like freaking out. Like
Yep. That's funny. Yeah, man, let's talk a little bit more about Raccoon Creek. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
All right.
I keep forgetting there's a delay.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, there's a little delay on it. But no, I've paddled down in Florida several different times. I spent a lot of time in winter down there, and paddled with the gators. Most of them, I've never had them bother you, but I have had one come up and circle around me 2 or 3 times, and then kind of swam off, just checking me out. But
right,
it's a little nerve-wracking.
I don't think I could do that. I'll stay up here in smallmouth territory.
I'd be so paranoid the whole time, man. I'd just be looking over my shoulder. It takes some balls of steel to deal with that, man. The poisonous snakes, the giant spiders and alligators. I mean, the boys in South, man. I mean, I guess you get used to it, right? I mean, like
you do.
We get used to trying to fish in cold water, so
different kind of danger. Yeah, man, let's talk a little bit more about Raccoon Creek. What kind of brands do you guys offer?
We have the New Canoe. We'll start off with them. Bonafide, of course. We have all their models, everything in stock. Crescents, Liquid Logic, Native, and we actually just brought on a new brand along with you guys. Lightning Kayaks.
Mm-hmm.
Should have them in store possibly this week. Should be this week.
Nice.
So, which is very cool. I'm kind of excited about Lightning. I'm actually be able to see them, put my hands on them a little bit more. So,
for the little bit of experience you have with Lightning Kayaks, what's your opinion so far?
I like them. I paddled one. There's a charter company that we work with down in Florida that we use to take us offshore. They use the Lightning Kayaks out there, and also in the canals, that kind of stuff, chasing peacock bass, all that around. So, they're the kind of the Hobie drive, the fin drive. So they're well built. The style of them is kind of more of almost the Hobie Outback.
Right.
It kind of picture that kind of setup is really close about what they are. So
I thought the same thing too when I first saw the Strike. The front kind of looks like a PA-14, and then you got the drive, and then the rest of it looks like an Outback.
It does. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we should have in this week is the Strike.
Yeah, I'm interested to see him when Mark gets him in. He's been talking to me about him. He's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to show you guys these. They look cool." I'm like, "I'm excited to see one."
they're nice, man. I'm excited to have them in the shop, and the price point on them are really, really good. I mean, you're looking at about $1,900 versus,
Yeah, that's definitely
3,000.
Yeah, that's definitely like a beginner's price for sure. Well, I'm not going to say beginner. I've never seen the boat yet,
Yeah.
but pretty cool.
Very cool. So, how was
Yep.
your guys' rental season this past year?
It was okay. It was our weather up here. I mean, well, it's Ohio. Every year is going to be different, but no, we had a great spring. Everything was going great. We went almost 2 months without rain. It rained all around us, south of us, north of us, just not here. And we kind of dried up a little bit, got down to the point of shutting down. Actually, by mid-August, we were already thinking shutting down. Then we got some rain, brought it back up, and we was able to kind of finish out the season. But it was already kind of put a hurting on us by that time. We lost a couple good holiday weekends and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I can
but
imagine
camping this year has been really good.
Yeah, I can't imagine like kind of having to deal with that drought with you guys being on the creek like that. It's got to be tough because, I mean, Brad and I fish a lot on the Little Miami and Great Miami, and the Mad River, our surrounding rivers here, and it was rough because it was so low, like and then it'd blow out, but it would drop real fast again, and like, I mean, we never really got any like extreme blowouts,
right?
Like we normally do in Ohio, like especially that winter thaw to rainy spring, like it kind of filled up like just one time, and then it just came down and stayed down. I mean, it's still down now, even with some of the rain events that we've had. When we've had rain lately, it's been more of a light, steady, rain where the rivers and all the drainage systems can actually handle it. But I mean, I was surprised when I went out there the other day. I was like, man, this is low. I'm down, trying to fish the Ohio River, and I was like, it's super low. Like, you would think that things would be a little more messy, and it really wasn't at all.
Yeah, it's kind of the same story here. I mean, we got some rain, it brought it up, but the ground soaked it right back up, and it dropped pretty much just as quick as it came up. So,
yeah. Yep, that's been the story all this year too.
The gear shop really kind of helped us. Yep.
Yeah, that's what Mark always says too. He's like, I think I'm thankful we have the whole kayak side because the rental side was kind of on and off all year long, just like you said. So that's cool. You guys got all that stuff to fall back onto. It makes it good for the community, I guess.
It does. A couple other things going on this year, or it's coming year, we're kind of excited about. We're hosting 2 tournaments this year, or this coming year. We're hosting the Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail June 4th. And then in August, I think it's August 11th, something like that. It's like the second weekend in August. Kayak anglers of Northeast Ohio are coming down. So that's pretty exciting to get, some different people kind of in the area checking out the stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of a far drive for
around,
those Northeastern people.
Some of them's going to be driving about 4 hours. So
yeah. Hey, Ken Morris set you guys up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. They got a pretty decent group up there.
Yeah,
too.
Ken's a good guy. I've been fishing with him. They do. Yeah, got some good anglers and you got some neat water. I fished a few of the tournaments last year or the past couple of years, and they got it's more lakes, but it's still fun fishing up there. So
yeah,
I've never been up there. I need to go explore
different.
some more.
Yeah, I heard it's a lot of fun camping.
I need to get you guys up here.
Creek. Yeah, we should, because I heard it's a lot of fun to camp
It
out there.
is.
Brad,
Yeah.
you want to go?
Actually, one of our guys,
You're good.
yeah, one of our team guys said it on a podcast here a while back that kind of cracked me up how he kind of described the place. And he said it's country.
Yeah.
And Robert Weichert, I'm going to steal his line off of that one. And it is. I mean, we basically have a golden rule that all politics, religion, anything else can stay out. And once you get inside the gate, it doesn't matter. Everybody's friends and family.
Heck yeah.
Saturday morning, my wife's usually in the back cooking up breakfast, and she does. That depends on the weekend, but everything from biscuits and gravy to eggs and waffles and omelets and all kinds of stuff for breakfast. And we also have a in-house chef. Kind of comes up. He's actually from down Cincinnati area. Michael Scudder at Taste of Good Life Catering. He does a lot of different events down in that area. But he comes up and actually cooks here for different events. Hangs out a lot. So there's always food. You come here on a weekend and there's usually always food cooking. So
I like it. Man, see, I've always heard from everybody that go to these events that your guys' events are the most favorite ones of each trail. Like I remember seeing Zach from Yak Legion doing a live video of the campfire at night after you guys got off the water. It looked like everybody's having a blast. I was like, man, I need to go out there someday. It looks really cool.
yeah, it usually turns out great. We have a big fire ring, kind of our community hangout, and pretty much any given Saturday, most of the campers, for some reason, always end up here. And the kids are running around doing whatever they're doing. The adults are having a few beverages, talking and telling stories about, everything. So it's just kind of a nice laid back, everybody feels that has that welcome feel to it. So
right. Oh, that's cool.
Go ahead, Brad. You okay? You're gonna say something.
I was waiting on you.
So have you gotten your hands? Has the shop gotten their hands on the P127 yet?
we have not. It looks like it will probably be early January before we actually get our hands on one. Maybe I'm hoping for December, but we'll see. I do know they're making them. They're getting a few of them out to dealers. We'll see.
Josh is excited for that P127.
I just want, I just want to see the performance of it or hear, somebody's take on it. We've been talking about, the design and what it looks like. And, it's the thing that everybody's been waiting for, since Bonafide came out. I mean, everybody was kind of, at first they were like, Bonafide, they made that kind of claim where they're going to stick to paddles, and then they did the merge, and then everybody's like, ooh, and ears perked up, and it's possible that might have been in the works. Obviously COVID could have slowed it down, but I'm just excited. There was so much hype around it, so.
Yeah, they had a couple different boats they came out with. Not really came out with, kind of semi-prototypes that they played around with a little bit and just could not get it to perform the way they wanted it. So this is the one that I think is number 3, I believe. And they finally got all the kind of bugs worked out. And Justin Floyd and several of them, really kind of stepped up and kind of knocked it out of the park. I got a chance to kind of put my hands on it a little bit down in Florida, and it's a cool boat. I mean, hands down, all the extra little bells and whistles that's on it, the rod stagers. They put a rod stager on the seat and stuff like that. That when you catch fish, you got a place you lock your rod right in. Really nice and simple, out of the way. There's just little detail things that they did on it. It just definitely kind of sets the apart for that boat. So.
Yeah, that's the one reason why I was always drawn towards Bonafide, just for the little details like that. That you could tell that they had the angler in mind, and it's always been impressive to me.
Yep.
Um,
Same here. It's one of them, but I got a chance to get in one. What's that?
I was just saying, speaking of being part of Bonafide and owning a shop, what's it like dealing with a customer, like being part of Bonafide and owning your shop and them picking between different boats? How does that work?
I enjoy getting people on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in a Crescent, a Bonafide, everybody's built different. Everybody's going to fit different. So having a boat that fits them really good is kind of our number one goal. I mean, of course, I definitely like to put them in Bonafide, but not everybody's built. Not everybody desires for what the Bonafide has. Bonafides are a little slower, but the stability that comes with them and everything else is by far, you can't beat them. So it's kind of one of those things that if somebody's looking for the ideal moving water platform, that kind of stuff, I lean them towards the Bonafide or, a new canoe, Flint, or something like that. Or if they're a great big guy or gal, I might put them in a new canoe F12, something of that nature, where it has that really big, nice, big platform, open deck, or the duck hunters, and then you get into the Crescents. The Crescents are just an incredible boat. Great for moving water, flat water. They do still have that open deck kind of feel to them, but also a paddle and handle really well, and pretty much all situations. So, and especially if you're a smaller build person or a smaller, stature, the Crescents fit a lot of people. So,
yeah, they do.
So it's all about just finding that right boat for the right person.
Heck yeah. One thing that's really impressed me about you, Dustin, is your commitment to your sponsors. It's really cool to kind of see what you're doing with the shop, because being on the Yak Gadget team with you guys and stuff like that, and then I've seen where you've shot pictures of the shop, and not only are you representing your companies via social media or whatnot and taking pictures and doing that thing, but you were selling that stuff in your shop, and that's really cool, because that kind of shows that it's like you have that commitment, you believe in the products. It's not just, here I get, a little discount or whatnot. You're out there selling that stuff too. You're a dealer of the things that you believe in, and those are your sponsors as well. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I look at it as, if I'm going to sell it, put somebody in it, I want it to be the best I can, especially when it comes to gears, accessories, that kind of stuff. Why not offer them something that I use myself, and I can tell them the perks and downfalls with it, and all the ins and outs, and it makes things selling it a lot easier. Also, and like you said, if you believe in the product, it makes selling stuff a lot easier. So
that's cool, man. It's kind of cool seeing people who are involved in shops like that, especially when you work at one or you own one. It's our shop manager, Nate. He's in a Bonafide, but he's so versatile on all of our brands. Like it was amazing listening and talk to people at the show. I was like, dang, man, this kid knows so much. Like, and he doesn't even get a chance to even get out that much, like, and actually fish. He's so wrapped up in doing the rental stuff and managing the shop. But man, he can sell some kayaks. He does a good job for Mark.
He does. Nate is just an absolutely great kid, or not a kid, I guess, guy. I've got a chance to meet him a couple different times, and just his whole aura about him is just incredible. We actually have a guy, Justin, that works for us up here, and he's the same way. Justin up here actually doesn't paddle. He's been out with me a handful of times. He doesn't fish, but he can walk through the shop and tell you the weight capacity on any boat. He can tell you, the bells and whistles. I mean, he's encyclopedia when it comes to. And there's times that I'll be talking with a customer, and it's just like I have to just stop and just holler at Justin and say, "Hey, what's the weight on this?" But, yeah.
Nice to have teammates or team members that can do that kind of thing for you, for sure.
It absolutely is.
Well, you hit on it a little bit. So what other brands do you carry in the store, like for accessories and things like that?
Okay. Yeah, I kind of covered our boat brands. For accessories, we got everything from bending branches. We carry the Kirko paddles, Aqua Bomb paddles. We actually carry the paddles from Yak Gadget, along with a bunch of their accessories, and their crates and everything. Yak Gadget does a phenomenal job. John down there, he's just great to work with. We do Yak Attack. We do 13 Fishing. Venom Lures is one of our big bait companies that we kind of work with. We get a lot of our spinner baits and buzz baits and everything all from them. What else we got? I'm actually sitting in our shop right now, so it's just kind of cool. So
that's what I figured you were.
Yep. Yeah, I get a chance to come down there and hang out. I'm all about it. So.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody in the Ohio area is listening, I highly suggest you go check out Raccoon Creek's shop. It's really cool. I enjoyed it when I came out there and visited last year, like I said. So, Josh, you ever been there?
A few other things we did.
Not yet, but I plan on getting out there hopefully next year. So I'd like to go out and fish, the hawking and stuff like that. Like I said before, I went to school temporarily out there for a little bit. And, back when I was in school then was 98, 99.
Mm-hmm.
So, paddle sports really weren't big yet, especially for kayak angling. And I mean, kayaking in Ohio was sort of, probably new at that time, or, it wasn't like a big deal. Because I remember visiting the canoe libraries around here, and it was canoes, and about the time we stopped going, and maybe the early 2000s was where you started seeing the kayaks show up at the rental facilities and that sort of thing. And, we were usually drinking a lot, unfortunately, when we were doing that. So kayaks were probably not the best idea. But I loved the Hocking River. It was one of my favorite. I went to school out there for two reasons. I heard it was a lot of fun. And then when I got to visit the campus, it's absolutely beautiful out there. And I fell in love with that place. I mean, I mountain biked, hiked all the time, went around the river, got up on Radar Hill and watched meteor showers. It was a lot of fun. So,
yep. Yeah, it's actually this area offers a lot. I mean, you got the Hocking Hills right here. So you have all the hiking, camping, all that kind of stuff. We're approximately 10-minute drive from Lake Hope State Park, which has really good fishing. It's got hiking. It's got frisbee golf. It's got a really nice lodge with a smokehouse type restaurant in it. So they do all their own kind of smoked meats and all that kind of stuff. There's horseback riding. We have a company just wrapped right here that we work with a lot, and it's Uncle Buck's Riding Stables. So you can go horseback riding and actually ride through, some of the caves and the Moonville Tunnel, all that kind of stuff. So there's tons of stuff to do within like minutes of here. And then if you want a little nighttime life, you got Athens. It's a 10 minutes drive to Athens. You got Court Street, which is kind of where all the bars and all that kind of stuff's going on. And you got all the restaurants. I mean, there's tons of stuff to do right in Athens itself too. So, yeah, there's.
I didn't realize.
Lots of hiking
there was
around
that
the
much
area.
to do out there.
Yeah, Brad, Athens is a cool place, man. If
Yeah,
you
you
haven't
come up
been
and spend
there,
days.
yeah, it's definitely the small town feel with that campus there. There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars. There's a lot to do. Dustin, is the music scene as good as it was back in the late 90s?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, there's lots of music. I mean, there's usually music playing at a couple of the bars every weekend. Or there's a festival going on. There's usually, if you start looking very much, you can find venues going on somewhere close. So, actually, the Uncle Buck's riding stable had music on Saturday night for almost all summer. So,
is Halloween still real big down there?
They canceled it last couple of years, but I guarantee if they lift the restrictions, yep. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty big.
It's one of the best Halloween parties, man. It's a good time. If you haven't ever been there, it's probably, at least in my opinion, in Ohio, it for a long time it ruled Halloween. So
that's interesting.
Yep. And
sounds like,
and you can't go to jail there.
Did you say you can't go to jail?
So you can.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I went to jail while I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like I need to make a trip out there with the wife. She sounds like something she would like. So I've never been out that way. You said that I have a feeling the fishing that side of Ohio is good, so I just need to go.
There is definitely for smallmouth. Brad, I know you like the smallmouth fishing. The Hocking River produces some really, really exceptional fish. My buddy Matt Davis, he hooked a little over right out of 20-incher this year out of there. I know several other people has got some nice big 19-inchers. So I've caught it. I've never broke the 20-inch. I've caught 3 that were 19 3/4 on the Hocking, but I've never been able to break the 20-inch mark on it. But one of these days.
That 20-inch mark is tough in Ohio. I've told everybody for years. I went 9 years trying to catch one. I finally caught one this year, but man, it is tough.
It is. It's rough. And then you get a chance to go to like Susquehanna, over in Pennsylvania, and it's clear full of monsters, 20s. I mean, so
they're
Susquehanna
spoiled
is one of my favorite places for smallmouth. They
Yeah,
are.
I hear that's a good place, or it's everybody's bucket list, pretty much. I've never been there, so I'd love to someday.
I fish it. I fished it last 4 years in a row. So
Nice.
How far of a drive is it for you to get out there?
it's about 7 hours. To where I fished the Hobie Bass Open tournament over there. So I usually go over and spend close to a week and just fish. And it's I lost one last year, hands down. Was one of the biggest smallmouths I've ever hooked into, and it was just an absolute monster. And I got it in close to the boat. It jumped, and there it goes.
Yep.
It was that quick.
That's what they do.
Heartbreak.
Oh man. Yeah, those fish are
It
frustrating sometimes.
We have a host here, Sean Lavery. He's on the Bass Fishing for Noobs, and he lives real close to it, so he gets to fish it quite frequently. And it's been really cool to see his progression in the past year as an angler, because when he started out, he struggled, and now, like, every trip that he goes out, he's posting these big giant smallmouth, and we're all excited for him. And it's a neat river.
Yeah, someday, man.
It is. It's my first time over there. The topwater bite was on fire, and I was throwing a Whopper Popper 130, which is a monster bait, for 4 days straight.
Oh, jeez.
And I caught just tons of fish.
Yeah.
It was
That's
insane.
fun.
I'd probably go more often, but I despise the drive across Pennsylvania. It is literally the worst drive I've ever experienced.
Yep.
Brad, have you driven across Pennsylvania yet?
No, furthest.
It's awful. Straight awful.
I've been
man.
to Pittsburgh, but I've never been east of that. So,
Like, you start driving across Pittsburgh, and you're a quarter of the way, and you're like, we've got to be getting close. And you're like, no. We still
It's
have
a long
3/4
state,
of the
man.
state left. I know it is. It's deceiving, man.
yeah.
Especially when you're
part of the
driving
reason-
straight across it.
Yeah.
It takes forever.
That's part of the reason why I've never gone over the Susquehanna. I'm just like, I look at it on the map. I'm like, that's got to be like a 10-hour drive. Because I think I'm like 2 hours away from Dustin. 2.5.
Yeah, you are.
That.
Yeah, that's a nice drive out to the Athens, Albany, Lancaster area, man. It's a good place. I've been out to Hocking Hills, staying in the cabins out there and hiking in Old Man Cave, and it's beautiful out there, man. It's actually really cool if you're into camping or backpacking, because if I remember correctly, your guys' area has the least amount of light pollution in the state of Ohio, if I remember correctly.
I would say so. Yeah, it's this area. I mean, you can go out and watch meteors and stuff like that pretty much about any given time you want to go out and sit and watch. So
That's cool.
Dustin, have you been up on Radar Hill in Athens?
I have.
Yeah,
It's been a while, actually.
Yeah, we watched the meteor shower up there one night, and it's probably one of the most amazing things. It's mesmerizing. It was beautiful, but it was a little scary in a way, because it looks like you're about to get bombed by missiles. Like, I mean, you see these things. Yeah, you see these things streaking across, and you can even see the smoke trail behind them. It was amazing, man.
It's like that in Hawaii also. Up on when we went over to the Big Island, they got Mount Mauna Kea, I think it's called, like 9,000 feet up in the air, and it's like that. You go up there, you can't breathe, and you see all this stuff. It looks like it's about to hit you in the face. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see for sure. Well, is there anything else you need to add, Brad?
Yeah, that's it.
No.
No. Anything else you'd like to talk about, Dustin?
I think we pretty much covered about most of it. One thing I did want to kind of bring up was over the summer we lost our Facebook page, so we ended up having to start a whole new Facebook page. So if anybody out there is wanting to follow us or anything else, definitely follow us on Facebook. And we're all the time putting, what's going on, events coming up. We've got a few weddings coming up this summer. We've got 2 fishing tournaments going on this summer. We've got most Friday nights we do a kids night. We're usually playing movies, that kind of stuff. We've got a projector. Everybody sits out in the grass and just kind of watches movies, that kind of stuff. So, very kid friendly type place. So,
Heck yeah. I have to bring my little ones. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they love kayaking. And it sounds like you guys have a lot of cool stuff for them to be able to do out there camping. So you'll probably see us maybe late spring, early summer, or maybe even in the fall time next year. So
that'd be exciting, man. Definitely love to have you. And whenever you guys come up, let me know ahead of time, and I'll try to free myself up, and I'll take you guys around, show you some of the sites and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of really neat stuff that most people don't know about within minutes of here. So it's pretty neat.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Dustin, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Anytime you want to come back on, just hit us up. We'd be more than happy to have you. And I wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors, and congratulations again on the factory position on Bonafide, man.
Oh man, definitely. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me on. So
Sweet, man. Good episode. I know we were dealing with some delay issues and stuff, but we got the point across and had some good conversation still. So with that, man, I think we'll close out.
All right. We'll see you guys next year.
See you next year.
So everybody take care. Have a safe, happy holiday. Don't forget about us. We will still be doing some random stuff. I think you might see a couple OG after hours shows that might pop up. And if you want a good laugh, those are always really good to check out and watch those. And please, if you guys come on, conversate with us too. Throw some comments our way. Those are usually where some of our best conversations and most funny ones start to arise, is when we start reading the comments. So but yeah, and thank you to everybody that's been listening to Final Cast and listen to Paddle and Fin. It's been huge. It's been huge for us this year. It was a big year. Our numbers keep growing and growing and growing, and we thank you for the support. And if your friends haven't heard about it yet, please send them our way. You can check it out on pretty much any of the major podcast platforms. We're on YouTube. You can see the the videos on YouTube, the podcast videos, and then you can see it on Facebook as well. So, but thank you so much to everybody.
For sure, man. Yep. All right. Great end to 2021. Thanks for listening, guys.
All right. See you next year.